Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to season 13, episode 17, overall 677 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Automall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all electric vehicles and Cadillac products as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969 and has been a sponsor of the show for the last 3 years. I hope everyone's doing well on this Saturday, March 14th, 2026. We're only 3 days away from St. Paddy's Day, so happy St. Paddy's Day. Some people are celebrating today, and I am wearing green in honor of St. Paddy's Day, and I'm looking forward to this show today. It's their first time on our show, and they are part of a band called Deladie. I hope I get that right, and the lead singer is D Dial and Jeff Mohammed. Hopefully I didn't butcher their name. So I'm excited to have them on. They are an exciting, dynamic rock group out of New York City. And I'm going to bring D and Jeff on right now to talk a little bit about their band and their music career. Good evening. How are you doing?
Hey, Chris. How's it going?
Good. Before we get into the conversation, I forgot to do this. I do this with all my guests. There, you had to get the applause, and I didn't put the boo one in. I put in the applause for you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, hold on to that boo one, just in case.
So, how are you both doing, and how are things in New York City right now?
Well, I'm doing great.
Yeah, we're doing fine. New York, the weather's okay. It's starting to get a little warmer.
Yeah,
I know you're used to the cold. You get much colder than that, so.
Oh yeah, our winter this year was brutal, and the funny part is on Tuesday it was 70+ degrees here, and all our snow was gone. And then Friday it goes back to 30 degrees, and we got about 6 inches of snow here yesterday. But it looks like it's going to melt and not stay long. So March is kind of a funny month here in Ontario for weather. We can get days like our summer days, and then we still get parts of winter here.
Right.
That's true. Same in New York. I guess it's not that far from Toronto.
No, it's probably about a 12-hour drive. I've been to New York before, but I've taken the bus there a couple times, and now I really believe it's the city that doesn't sleep, being there twice.
Right.
That's true. We try to get sleep here.
So I want to say thank you so much for giving us some of your time tonight to come on the show and talk about your band and how you guys got started in the world of the world of music.
Thank you for having us. We're really excited to share with you. How did you hear about us?
Social media. By the way, I'm the talk show host, but I'm also the producer, the content creator. I edit video, I promote myself, and I also I'm on social media quite a lot. Looking for guests, people with unique stories and careers as well. And my show is not just a sports show; it's fully diverse with guests and topics. And I've had a number of musicians on from the UK, Canada, of course, and the US as well.
That's amazing. We're so excited that you thought of us and reached out to us. That makes us feel very special. We're happy to be on here. I think our cats might try and join in too, so I hope that's okay.
Oh, I like cats, and I volunteer at a local humane society. So I like cats and dogs. I'm kind of a dog person first, but I do have a cat
Yeah.
named Latte. Latte, who's Siamese cat. What's the name of your
Oh.
cats?
Gibby and Lucy. They're both named after Gibson guitar and BB King's guitar,
Lucille.
Lucille.
Wow. Did you guys adopt them, or did you guys rescue them?
They were from I guess they were from a shelter. So they'll be rescue cats. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
I always
Russian,
tell. Go ahead. Sorry.
they're Russian blues.
That's all right. Hey, and I was gonna say I'm based in the Toronto area right now. Have either one of you guys been to Canada before?
Well, my cousins lived they used to live in Ottawa. So I used to go there every year from when I was born till 1984. I've been there like at least 18 or 20 times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
We used to go to Montreal. They live in Ottawa. We used to take trips to Montreal. But nowhere else. I've never been to Toronto. I was wanting to go there.
Yeah, Ottawa's about 6 hours from where I am, and then Ottawa's about 2 hours from Montreal. But if you guys ever go to Montreal, you got to try their smoked meat and their poutine, which is French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. It's not healthy food, but it tastes great.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
By the way, Canada also is a huge music market too. So maybe one day in the future, you guys will come and perform over here in Canada as well. The market's huge over here.
We would love to, because I teach guitar too. So one of my students a while ago, he got recruited from some band. They were looking for a guitar player, and he went to Canada. And he said the scene there was great compared to here.
And also too, Canada is great for actors and comedians as well. So there's a lot of talent here as well. Wanted to ask you this, Jeff. You mentioned guitars and you're a teacher. How would you describe yourself as a teacher? And when you learned guitar, was it easy to pick up, or did it take a long time to get to learn how to do it?
Well, I started on a hockey stick, just mimicking guitar. So just like air guitar stuff. And so I had a friend, his name was Erwin, and he would play it. I would go to his house and watch his band play, and sometimes he would let me, play his guitar. And he told me a couple of things. I saw, this is pretty cool. I like it. 'Cause I always wanted to play. My father didn't want me to play it, but I'm like, I got to play it sometime. So when I finally got my first guitar, like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to imitate. I was just putting my hands anywhere, making believe it was working, right? And I didn't think anything of it. I just was just happy that I had something in my hand, that makes noise. Because I had distortion on and sound rock and roll. It was a complete mess, but I was getting some kind of sound. So, but eventually my fingers started making something that resembled what I was trying to do. Like, at that point I went heavy into Black Sabbath and Ozzy. And I would just start playing like, hey, this sounds good. Maybe I can actually do this. And eventually I just picked a lot of stuff up by ear. And, back then they didn't have like the internet, so you can learn songs on YouTube. They only had like guitar magazines that would come out every month. And in those magazines, they would have notation of how to play certain songs. And you would hope one of your favorite songs was in the magazine. So every month I'd rush down to the store and see, what songs they had. I learned songs from there, learned songs from my friends. And I just like, wow, I can play. And I was happy.
What makes a good guitar player, in your opinion, these days? And what have been some of your most memorable songs that you've played on guitar?
A lot of people say different things about what makes a good guitar player, but for me, is somebody who just moves people. So they don't have to be the most talented person. I see a lot of stuff on Instagram that the guys are just incredibly talented, but like I'll never listen to it again because it's talented, but it's just boring. And that's just my opinion, because there's a big subculture that follows that kind of guitar, whether it be the fusion type of guitar or what they call shred and neoclassical stuff. But I'm more into like guys like whether it be Hendrix or Eddie Van Halen. My big influence was Randy Rhoads. And they move people. They have big, not cult, they have big, huge worldwide following because of that. They move people that weren't just musicians, but listeners and just your average people. That's when you can reach that many people, you're a great guitar player.
By the way, I have a viewer watching in Los Angeles. He's a producer. He's a friend of mine. He's been on my show a couple times. Nino Shimino. He's from out of Chicago, but he's a producer now in LA. He's watching as well. I wanted to ask you this, Jeff and Dee. How did you guys end up connecting and meeting?
Well, I was working on a solo project called Deladie. It's an anagram of my real name, D Dial. So that's how I just created a solo artist name after my metal band Close to Death did not work out. I decided to move on with the solo project, and I worked with Billy Graziadei from Biohazard, and I flew out to LA and we recorded my record. And then when I came back, I also worked with the producer from Sharetta. His name's Pablo Lafrosia, on a song called No Longer Black, and he asked Joff to come in and do the guitar solo. I'd never met Joff, but Joff played with Sharetta several times. I guess you were in the band.
Yeah, I was in and out. Yeah.
Anyway, he played solo on my guitar. I mean, on my solo record.
So just interrupt. So Pablo, he was a mutual friend of ours. So I played with Pablo, but I knew him from before. I think I knew him for like 10 years before that, or 15 years, and we've always been playing or keeping in touch or talking. And one day he just asked me. So he started running a studio, and he just asked me, "Hey, I can you come to my studio and play a solo?" I'm like, "Sure." He didn't ask any question. And I get there, and when I walk in there, there's somebody playing rhythm guitar for the song that I'm supposed to record solo on. So that guy leaves. I'm like, "Okay, what is this?" And he's like, "That's for D." I'm like, "Who's D?" Because I don't know who D was. He's like, D Dial. I'm like, "I don't know if I know D Dial." It may sound familiar, but may not. But then I heard the song, and I had to figure out a solo right on the spot, try to make it up. So I'm doing that, and we come up with something that sounded pretty good. And after I was done, even when I was doing work on, I was like, this sounds really good. I like what she's doing. I like the music. I like everything. And when I got done, I went right home and I went on Facebook, and I found Dee on Facebook. I'm like, "Hey, I think I just played in your song. I like it a lot." And I said, "Can I
play bass?"
Yeah, that's the first thing I think. I noticed there was no bass on it. Can I play bass on it too? And she said, yes. And I went back, I guess, a couple of days later, played bass. And there was another message I think I had, "Do you want to write something together? Because I have some stuff maybe you'd be interested in." So from that, we got together. Well, I had music for something I wrote. We ended up I gave it to her.
It turned into American Lust.
Became a song called American Lust. And I remember the first time we met, she was living in Staten Island at the time, and I went there. And I was going up the stairs outside, and she just popped out, and it was the first time I actually saw her. And we had a really good time. We were just playing in her kitchen. She had a computer up, a garage band. I brought my guitar, and we just kind of hashed the song out.
Yeah, that's something we just got along right away with. Actually, the drummer from Shredder was like, I was like, "Joff just asked me if he could write me a song," and he was like, "You let that man write you any song he wants. He's the best guitar player I've ever worked with." And I was like, "Okay." And I was a big fan of Shredder, and so for someone from the band to say that to me, I was excited to work with someone of such talent. And then our relationship blossomed into something more, and we started rehearsing every Saturday. We went to different studios, and we tried out different drummers and different bass players, and
one day we didn't know who to bring in, so I'm like, "I'll bring my son in." He was 15. I said, his name is Zach. I'm like, "Zach, you're playing bass today." So he's like, "Okay." And Zach doesn't live with me, but I just said, "You're playing bass." Because Zach started in guitar when he was 11. I think he wanted it for his birthday. So, but later on he picked up bass, and he was barely learning bass. I'm like, "That's enough for me. I'll tell you what to do. Just come to the studio." So he came to the studio. He just followed my lead, and he just picked it up right away. Zach is fantastic learner and a player.
He's got good genes too.
How special is it having your son being a part of this band? And also, I wanted to get your perspective of this too. Obviously, Dee, you've probably done solo music before, but for being in a band, how important is having on-air chemistry with other members? You can be the most talented performer in the world, but if you don't have chemistry with the other members in a band, it won't be so successful.
Exactly. You said it just you hit the hammer on the nail, or whatever you say. It was awesome working with Joff. Like he was he's a great guitar instructor. He's a great teacher. Like he brought the best out of me. He brought the best songwriting out of me. And the first time he brought his son in, we weren't supposed to have a bass player that night, so he actually surprised me that night when I walked in and I saw his son sitting in a chair in the studio, and I was like, "Who is this?" Because he was just like 15 years old, and he was like, "This is my son. He's gonna play bass tonight." And like he picked up the songs like 1, 2, 3, like he'd been in the band for the whole entire time. It was just a special moment. I have pictures from that night too.
Now, besides you and your son, is there anybody else in your family that has musical ability and talent?
Yeah, I have people like there's one guy who lives in, I mean, I was born here, but my family's from Pakistan. And my cousin, he came here and went to Berkeley. And he moved back to Pakistan. But he's an incredible player, incredible writer, and he knows a lot of stuff. And he's doing studio engineering also. But he's, I think, probably the only other person I know in my family that plays guitar or plays anything.
And from my side, my brother Lance, he's my older brother. He plays everything. He plays guitar, bass, violin, the banjo. He sings. He's done more on the country side, but he's very talented too.
How much of an adjustment was it going from being a solo performer into a band?
It wasn't that big of an adjustment because I was in a metal band called Close to Death for 15 years before I went solo. And before that, I came to New York from Texas, and I started out doing like EDM, electronic dance music. And then when I met my guitar player and the drummer in Brooks Brothers Elevator, where I worked at the time, they invited me to their first show, and that's where I became a singer in a rock band. And then we were together for 15 years. And then after things didn't work out with that, I decided to keep going and just go solo. And then that's kind of like how he came into the situation. And because I could perform live. I was just used to being performing with live musicians. So how am I going to put on a show by myself on stage? And it worked out that he came in and asked if he could write for me, because I was like, how can we take this electronic dance rock fusion record that I made into a live performance, and we did it.
Yeah, because there are elements, a lot of the stuff that she did with Billy there's a lot of like electronic stuff and not real instruments. So I had to somehow capture that same vibe. But I wasn't going to be able to do it with just a guitar, but I used a lot of effects pedals. So I tried to get as close as possible. But my version, it wasn't going to be the same as Billy's version. But I had some other things that I had in my sound that weren't originally there. So I brought something different that still made it have the same similar energy, let's call it.
I was surprised he could even mimic like some of the stuff that was on the record, because electronic music is a whole new ball game. Usually there's a lot of keyboards involved, and he was able to do it with his guitar, and it's like 57 pedal board.
I was born in the 70s, so I'm ancient. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and there was a lot of great music bands. What are your thoughts on music bands today? And do you find creativity is kind of shrinking in the music industry, or do you find it's expanding due to all the technology now available?
It's hard to say on my end. Technology is like a double-edged sword, because it's a lot of times technology is doing with the work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not getting the true artist anymore. And I started having, especially within the last year, once AI started making music. That's when it got really bad. So it's been bad since. But before that, so I've been talking to people about this. If you ever notice, so there was a 60s scene, there was a 70s scene, there was an 80s scene, there was a 90s scene. And the 2000 scenes kind of started with, you're familiar with emo music, right? So it started off with emo, but it never really took off, and nothing new has taken off since about 2000. Even if you look back at pictures of people, like if you take a picture of a group of people at a bar, let's say now, and you take a look at pictures of people back then, the clothes are the same style, the hairstyles are the same, everything is just the same. We haven't grown artistically in anything in the last 20 years. And music is obviously one of those things. There's been, there's some underground stuff that I find because I have some students, little kids that show me stuff. I'm like, where did this come from? I never heard this. But the market is so saturated, the mainstream is not going to hear it. But there are some cool stuff out there.
I feel like when the internet came into play, like that's when like the transitional period kind of like took a turn in the music industry, because everybody was able to make music, and that's not that that's a bad thing, because it isn't a bad thing, but technology gave you the opportunity to steal music or make music with different, it kind of like, it's a hard question to answer. It's just like, music is something that everyone loves, and we all are inspired by music from the past. So it's just how are you going to take music from the past and combine it into like your own sound and make something that makes you happy?
What are your thoughts on AI in general in the music industry and AI with story songwriting?
I think it's kind of fascinating, actually. I think it's cool. I don't like that they can take your music and I don't know, recreate it and make it sound perfect, because I feel like I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's cool. I think we should be able to use it. But I hope that it doesn't distract people from going in and learning how to play an instrument or singing on their own and learning the craft of what it takes to become a musician.
On mine, it's kind of scary. I was at my cousin's house, and him and his little son wrote some lyrics, and they wanted to put music in the background. So he said, my cousin's a big music aficionado. So he said, he told, I think it was Suno AI, he told, let me have like a funk band style in the background. And I heard it, and it was like incredible how good it was. Then he said, let's make a metal version. It was a metal version of the song, and he just said, give it more space, don't put the words all together. So just giving him instructions, but the AI was making the music on its own. And we both have a mutual friend who takes some songs and
Angelina, hi.
She'll send some music. She'll actually send some music to it, like she'll play like music into the thing through the computer, and it'll take the music and recognize it and play the chords, and it'll play guitar solos that sound like they're perfectly played by you couldn't tell them apart from an actual human, from the AI, and they even had a lot of emotion, like expression. It's incredible what it can do.
Yeah.
But it's scary that it can do that. What do we need it for? Because now it's like, you can make your own songs. Like AI can actually make songs for you. You can design it so it'll give you the perfect feeling you want if you give it the right instructions. So that's kind of scary.
It's also hard for musicians to make money, period, in the music industry, unless it's by selling merch or selling tickets. So and being a musician, it costs money to play, to rehearse, to buy instruments, to record, to master. Like at the end of the day, the musicians really don't make as much money as everyone thinks that we do. It's all about the love of the craft, and I mean, it's you have to live with the times, though. You have to roll with the times, and I think I'm excited about using it and working with it, as long as it's not just taken away from how I feel about making music with people that are actual human beings.
One thing I know,
go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
So how AI works, it knows all of the stuff that people have recorded in the past, so it can take different styles and they can scrape whatever it scrapes off the web and get information, but it can't create a new style. I don't think it's going to be able to do that. That's a human thing. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be able to invent the next kind of style of music. That's going to come from us.
And just talking to other musicians in the 6 years I've been doing this show, a lot of their inspirations for their songs come from their emotions and their experiences that you can't get from AI. Do you find that, Dee, that's how you get some of your inspirations for your songwriting, is from your life experiences?
Absolutely, like 100%. I always have something. I naturally write songs based on things that I'm trying to get through, or trying to poetically say something without blatantly saying something that might make someone mad. Or, you know, just try. It's like my diary in a poetic form. And sometimes like he'll just write a riff or something like that, and he'll title the song something based on whatever. And I'll be like, what's the title of that song? I really like that riff. And he'll tell me the name of the song. And all I need is that one word or that one phrase. And I'll write the song based off of that phrase or word. And then it just happens. That's how we work. It's really quite fascinating.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. Like we're like, I don't know, a great team. I've never worked with anyone like Joff. And we were friends for 3 years before we got engaged.
Congratulations. When's the date?
We're working on that.
June. Have it in June. June 29th is a good day. That's my birthday.
Okay.
That's gonna be your house then.
Okay. Congratulations. Yeah, drinks are on me.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Hey, Dee, I wanted to ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot with this question.
Sure.
How would you describe yourself as a songwriter? And when you started in the industry, did you have any influences or mentors that helped you with the songwriting aspect of music?
Yes. I guess my mentor would be David Joe Frame, who was a bass player for Stevie Ray Vaughan. I met him. Yeah, I met him whenever I was working at Neiman Marcus after I moved home from New York the first time. And he was working at Neiman Marcus, and he had a poster of Stevie Ray Vaughan in the cubicle, and I was like, I want to work with that guy. And so I sat down in the 2 cubicle space with him, and we just started talking, and he recorded my very first song for me, and we hung out all the time. And everyone thought it was weird because I was in my 20s and he was in his like 50s or 60s, but I didn't care. My mom didn't care as long as I was, not, out doing something wrong. And yeah, he's just one of my mentors. And as far as songwriting goes, I would say Billy Graziadei from Biohazard is a huge influence in my songwriting. He taught me how to make a song, make people just how to say something without saying it. How to say it without saying it. Being more creative.
I admire Dee's lyrics a lot. She's probably the best lyricist I've worked with.
Thank you.
I'm fascinated by her writing. I always, ask her to let me read your lyrics and read your lyrics. So I always read her lyrics just to get, I like them so much.
Dee, how much would you?
I work with a lot of bands. I've been working for bands I don't want to say how long, but she's quite a talent.
Dee, how much would you say you've evolved and improved over the years as a songwriter and as a performer?
Gosh, from 0 to like 97, I guess, because I'm not ever gonna say I'm 100% or 110 until I get there. But it was hard. The first time I started playing with Close to Death, I was faced, like our first live show, I was facing the band, and everyone was like, you got to turn around and face the audience because, do we want to see you sing? And I was so embarrassed, and I had stage fright. I was very afraid to sing in front of people for as long as I can remember. Like no one ever even knew that I could sing because I didn't tell anyone because I was shy, I guess. I was shy. And then I guess working with the band and just growing through rehearsals and, starting to not picture everyone in their underwear out in the audience, but just, getting tighter with the musicians and having a set list and, getting recordings down and stuff, like working with producers that help you tighten up your stuff and not just jam on. Because when you go into rehearsal and you jam, you're like, oh, that sounded great. And then you listen to a recording back and you're like, that sounded much better in the studio than what it sounds like, from us recording. So it helps you to, tweak what you need to work on and strengthen all of your weaknesses. And I don't know, just every single thing that going through every year changes. It's getting better and better. I'm getting old now, so I'm like, I don't care. I will do this for the rest of my life. But I'm just happy that we have, paved a way for Zach to have some sort of, future in music, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you both this. For those people that are watching this show live stream right now or later on the audio platforms, and they're interested in getting into the music industry as a singer, songwriter, producer, whatever, what advice would you give to those people from your experiences, the both of you?
I would say work with musicians who are worthy of your talent. You know, make a plan and rehearse and practice. Don't give up, and don't let other people influence what's really what the real reason that you are doing it for is. You know, copyright all your stuff. You know, always promote and support other musicians to grow like not just a fan base, but you know, supportive community.
Mm-hmm. And I would just say, you know, just do it because you love it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't chase the fame.
Yeah, don't chase fame.
Come if it's going to come, it's going to come. You got to just play because you love it and play with people that you love playing with, and you make good music with. Just be an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Passion. Find your passion.
Exactly.
Mm.
How important is it to have a strong mindset and strong support system? Because I know in the radio media industry, you have your successes, but you also have your rejections, and not everyone's going to be your cup of tea. Can you just explain to our audience as a musician how important a strong mindset and a support system is in this industry?
Yeah.
What do you mean by mindset?
Mindset is like I guess basically believing in yourself, like you're passionate about it, but your mindset, because you're going to get people that support you, but you're also going to get naysayers and skeptics, in some cases haters as well.
Oh, I love haters. I love our haters because it makes me feel like we actually succeeded in something. You know what I mean? Because they're always going to be there. So those are the people that kind of make me want to do it even more. And you know, I think one time we had someone say something bad about us on like one of our music videos, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we got our first hater!" And we were like, "Yes!" And like, what did they say? So I mean, you just have to kind of look at it, you know, from an outside perspective, and take it with a grain of salt. Like, don't let it get you down. Don't believe that everyone's going to feel like that about you, because it doesn't matter. People are going to love you or hate you. All that matters is like, do you like what you're doing, and are you having a good time, and are you doing it for the right reasons?
And you're playing for your audience, so that person just won't be part of your audience. It doesn't really matter, you know.
Yeah, there's lots of people in the world.
Now, since you've both been in the music industry for a while now, how much would you say it's changed in terms of competitiveness?
Well, in the view of the world, you know, the countries and whatever, it's gotten very saturated. There's a lot of people, because back in the 70s and 80s, there wasn't much access to studio time. You didn't have your own studios. You went to record studio to record, and there was not as many bands back then, and it was much easier to become a rock star, you know. Now it's different. It's like anybody can make their own record, anybody can make, you know, their own recordings, and there's so many platforms to be on. So there's like probably 1,000 times more bands right now that are out there working or playing than they were before. So it's, you know, very saturated, but that doesn't mean it's not good. There's a lot of good stuff out there too. You just got to go looking for it. So that it's a little different how you listen to music and you find music, and you know how you play it.
What are your thoughts on the live streaming platforms such as Spotify and Apple iTunes and all that? Do you feel the artists should get more compensated for those sites?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows that, but we're kind of stuck with them because they were using them for basically for publicity. Well, you know, everybody's proud of putting their stuff out on the streaming app, you know, platform. It's definitely a good thing, but it's more for getting recognized, getting a fan base. But you're not making any money. Like, they're not spending money to you.
Yeah, now they want to like make money off of putting you in playlists, and so you have to pay this person to get playlisted or that person to get promoted, or it's just really, and there's a lot of scamming out there right now, which is kind of like annoying. It's really hard to know who to trust on building your brand. And that's the only issue that I face, because I get hit in the inbox with all kinds of stuff, but they want money right away without showing us, their portfolio of what they've done for other musicians or who they've worked with. And that's, a problem, and I mean, you just have to like we're seasoned now, so we've already made a lot of mistakes in that sense. So we now are just like very particular about who we talk to and who we work with going forward. And even if it takes a little longer, so be it. Like, we'd have to stay true to ourselves and the amount of time and effort and blood, sweat, tears, and money that we put into this record ourselves, or this band and our music.
I think
go ahead.
I think moving forward, what a lot of bands are going to come to realize is that you can use Spotify to promote your band a little bit with certain songs, but then you need to sell your music to other places, like your own website, or like this site called Bandcamp. I mean, they take a little percentage, but you get the royalties. So there's no record companies involved. There's no streaming service involved. So, but you have to build a fan base to a certain degree, and then sell your music, sell merchandise that way, sell merchandise through shows.
And also, who are your real fans, and not just like some robot or bots or fake views or fake streams. Because there's a lot of that going on. Like, are they going to come to your show? Are they going to buy tickets to your show? Do they really love you as an artist and as a musician? Do they love your songs? Do they love your lyrics? Or is it just, someone trying to make money off of your talent?
Can you tell us both about the importance of branding and marketing and social media these days too?
That's a question I heard.
Well, yeah, marketing is super important. Like, when we worked with Frank off of our new album, we were going to call it Deladie, but we're trying to think of maybe something else now, because he's such a talented producer. It's probably the best. This last record that we did together is probably the best music that I've ever done in my life. And he told us that you have to spend just as much money marketing your music as you do paying for the producing and mastering and recording. And we spent a healthy number on it this time. So now we're like trying to figure out how we're going to market it next. And it's very important, because you do have to use social media, and you do have to use other outlets like broadcasting, radio, TV, I guess places where you can get sponsored or, what's it called? Syndication. And then just word of mouth, printing flyers, posters, even billboard, but you have to have big pockets to do that, or you have to have some sort of interest and quality of music that people like to come see you.
We just have to find, even if we find a little bit and we get a hold, like you got a hold of us,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of things that are good for bands out there. For people, I mean, people like you are important in this whole system. So who, like from your podcast and YouTube, somebody else, may be able to find us and like us, and that will grow our fan base or give us more opportunities in other avenues.
Yeah.
So the marketing is not necessarily going to be towards well, you just market as much as you can. Whatever happens, happens. And you just wish, hope for the best, and something will always be there for you to jump on.
Well, it's just like the radio industry now. You don't need to be in a radio station to broadcast anymore. If you have all the right technology and the right equipment at home, that's what I do with my live streaming show from home. And I've gone out and got a major sponsor, and I've learned to be a salesperson. And I wanted to ask you this too, because I wear 10 different hats, not just the one on my head, but how important is it in the music industry to learn as many things as you can, wear as many hats as you can?
It's a lot of hats.
You do have to wear a lot of hats, because like we even right now we're thinking about to find a manager, hire a manager, or manage stuff ourselves. But it's hard, because when you're working, we both work to make money and to live, so it's hard to do everything you need to do on your own.
To make this our full-time career. I mean, we do want that.
Yeah, and then the manager is like, how do you pay the manager? So a lot of it right now we're doing it on our own as best as we can, but we have to keep on top of ourselves to keep moving it forward.
Yeah, it's easy to get sidetracked working your regular job because you're tired when you get home, and you know you like, oh, now I gotta go do this too. It's like a second job, and you know it's hard work. But I mean, we managed to go to rehearsal every single Saturday for 3 hours in Queens. We live in Long Island, so we travel for an hour to go to Astoria Soundworks and practice with Stephen Taco, his best friend. He's our drummer. Hi, Taco. He's watching too.
Hi, Taco. Thank you for watching. Wanted to ask you this: how important is the work-life balance and making sure you don't end up getting burned out and losing that passion?
Oh, it's too late for that, man. We're burnt out.
Oh, you're so burnt, but we're still doing it. I mean, you just gotta dig deep, even though you don't want to wake up and go to rehearsal. You're like, get up and go, because we know once we're there, we'll be like, oh, I'm so glad we did that.
I mean, the desire for making music, that's what keeps us going, because we're both so passionate about it. We love doing it. We don't, it's not like something that's making us, like anybody's making us, we want to do this. And we're doing it, and we're not, really making money to live off of from this. We just want to do it. Even if somebody said you're never going to make any money, it wouldn't slow down. Like, we keep doing it. So that's our main inspiration to keep, going.
I can kind of relate because my last career, I had a work divorce during the pandemic, and both sides decided it was time to part ways. And I found my passion during the pandemic, and I'm making a little less money doing this than I did my other career, but I'm a lot happier. And this is something I love because I have a passion for it, and also learn. I want to learn every day as much as I can. And when you're in a job or career where it's just you're there for a paycheck, looking at your watch, it's probably time to move on. And we have a viewer watching on YouTube. Taco Drums for You says hello and thank you for watching on YouTube.
Hey, Taco.
What's the story behind you guys meeting Taco?
So Taco is a drummer that I met him back in the 90s. We were doing I was in a rock rap band, right? And me and the singer and his brother, he was the rapper, we needed a rhythm section, the bass and drummer. And I put out an ad in what was it called? One of the New York City music magazines. It was just an ad, like a physical ad. It wasn't internet back then.
The Onion?
No, it was a big New York one. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, so Taco answered. I gave him a call. We spoke on the phone a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, I got a bass player." So we just jammed. Everybody hit it off, and it was just really fun playing it. No, this was actually 4 bands ago. I've been in Taco with 4 bands, and this is going back to the 94, I believe it was 94.
And you don't have great.
Yeah,
I do.
And he was just such a just an energetic person, energetic personality, and he's just great drummer in the pocket. He's played very well, and eventually we moved on to a different band, and then a different band after that, and the band after that. So I've been in with him 4 or 5 years, but we kind of lost touch for a while. And then when Dee and I started playing, we were looking for bands. We had a drummer before this, and he left for whatever reason. But before we got that drummer, I kept telling Dee, "Hey, I got this guy Taco, he'd be perfect for us." And he's like, and she liked, I had stuff recorded, and he would play that Taco played on. And every time I played it for Dee, she's like, "Yeah, that guy's really good." But sometimes it would get distracted, we end up someplace else. But eventually, finally, we got Taco in the room, and Dee was totally sold. And and Zach and Taco hit it off right away. And Zach was still growing as a player.
Yeah, I remember that.
so Taco was still like, "Yeah, Zach's gonna grow," and we still gotta wait until Zach grows. But Zach grew into it now, and Zach and Taco are the most powerful rhythm section.
So good.
You can imagine. And Zach's like, he's just 19, but he's just an animal on bass. And
they're both Zach and Joff are both very quiet. I know you can't tell right now because he's talking. As long as it's about music, Joff talks. But Zach and Joff are both very quiet. So Taco and I are not. So
you can't stop talking. The only reason he's not here, so he can't talk. But if he was here, her and I we'd be like there.
He just commented again on YouTube. He just said something about the Village Voice.
That's it, the Village Voice. Yes, that's how I found it. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, anyone watching our show right now on live stream, if you have comments and questions for Jeff and Dee, please put them in the comments section as well. Are you guys still good for time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Can you guys tell us the story behind sorry, I mispronounced it. Deladie. I apologize. Yeah. How did you guys start it up, and the story behind the name? What was the story behind the name of this?
Well, my actual name is Dee Dial. Like, my real name is Dee. It's on my birth certificate. My last name is Dial. And when I left the metal band, I decided to go solo. I was like, what am I going to call myself? I don't want to say Dee Dial because I want my professional fashion career to be separate from my music career, so that I don't, whatever I do musically isn't offensive to anyone in the fashion industry, because I worked for for corporate luxury brands. So I was like, I'll just make an anagram of my name. And I started mixing up the letters of my name, and then Deladie came out, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And then that's how I started the name. And so I went with it. It's like an incognito version of myself. And then when they joined the band and we started rehearsing and we played our first show, I was like, do you guys want to change the name? We can change the name now that we're a band. That's cool if you want. And they're like, no, we like this name. Like, let's keep it. And I was like, really? I was like, all right, sweet. Because I already copyrighted everything. And it was a lot of work that went into the solo project, but I was happy that they were willing to keep the name, and not think that I'm trying to be, some solo star that doesn't include them into the whole project, because Deladie is it's a band.
It's a band, yeah.
It's a band. It's a group. It's not just me.
You mentioned the word copyright. How important is it to make sure your music's copyrighted? And also, how much have you guys learned the business side of the music industry over the years as well?
You learn every time you make a record, I feel like is the best time that you know the importance of copywriting. I always copyright my music after I record it. I send it out and get it back. Nowadays you can do it online. It's important so that people don't steal your music and your craft. And for like bands that don't really get much attention, I guess it doesn't matter that much. But you never know when you're big, you're going to get your shot. And you never know when your music's going to skyrocket, or when your lucky day is going to come, or all your hard work finally is going to pay off. And it's important to have the back end of your music taken care of, and copyrighted and trademarked hopefully soon, and and then all the credits given to the people who put the work in.
By the way, can you tell us about some of your other members and how important the people are behind the scenes too?
I always love the people behind the scenes. Like, they are important. Like, everybody who does sound for us, like everyone who I work with at the restaurant that I'm at right now that supports us. Like, literally our home is AMH, Amityville Music Hall. That's where we play all the time. And the restaurant brew pub I work at is Amity Ales, and they're right next door to each other. So it's easy for me to get like a big crowd into AMH, and they renovated the place recently. There's touring acts that go in and out of that venue.
And they're like, they become kind of like a street team. They spread the word, they talk about us,
The support and them actually liking the music, and wanting to be more a part of it, and voting for us for America's Next Top Hitmaker, actually hearing us and knowing, wow, we had no idea that you guys were that talented. Like, it's fun to surprise people.
What makes a good club in your opinion, and what's more difficult, performing in front of a large, huge audience or a smaller audience?
Well, for me, it doesn't matter, because I never look at the audience. I always look down. That's just my once in a while people are like, hey, there's people here. But it doesn't really matter to me if there's like a couple of thousand people there or like 20 people there. I'm still going to put on the show I'm going to put on. And because to me, it's just about me and my band up there. Like, we're playing, and whoever's watching, I'm glad they're watching.
I actually feed off the energy of an audience, no matter how big or small. It's like, if what we're doing is like making you dance and move around, or like bob your head, or act crazy, or whatever it is, interact with the people around you and the crowd. Like, that's what makes me happy. Just seeing people enjoy themselves and have a good time. I think smaller audiences might be more difficult, or audiences at a restaurant, because we sang at a restaurant at the Scores once when we were in the competition for America's Next Top Hitmaker. We made it into the semifinals, and we're asking them if they would promote it to the restaurant because we're regulars there, and they let us sing. And so we sang a song, and it was pretty cool. But like, people were talking in the background, so it's like, I don't know if they really knew if we were singing or if they thought it was the radio, or they just didn't even care.
When you guys are doing your live performances, how long do you get there before a club like to do a audio check and make sure everything's 100%?
Well, the last 2 times we played our home place is Amity Music Hall. That's in our hometown. So I basically I'm in charge of the show because I set it up, and I have to get the other bands. I have to find other bands. So and the last few times we played there, I think we start 9:30, and we're the headlining band. And once I get the other bands, I make their list, what order everybody's gonna be playing in. But the band generally wants us there for 4:30, something like that, for loading, to get everybody's equipment in through the back door.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the Deladie, we get a sound check, we do a couple of songs, make sure everything's sounding correct and everything. And then we just have to take all our equipment off again and have the first band do their sound check, because the first band gets a sound check and the last band gets a sound check.
On average, how? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, so I'm going to be I'm there from 4 o'clock until we play. Just hanging out, listening, talking, whatever.
And I'm at home getting ready after the sound check.
Yeah, so we live 10 minutes walking distance from that. So she's home getting ready.
That's perfect. I wanted to ask Dee this too. How important is it having the right outfit? Because you want to make sure that you're comfortable in front of an audience.
Oh yeah, I can never wear the same thing twice on stage. I always have something new, and something to clip my in-ear on, like a belt. Like if I wear a dress, I have to have a belt so I can clip the in-ear in so I can hear myself. Because in a rock band, if you don't have an in-ear, you're gonna be flat or off key. Yeah, I try to be comfortable but still stylish. Nowadays, I don't wear heels as much, but sometimes I will.
Any superstitions or rituals for the both of you before a live performance?
Not that I can think of.
A good night's sleep.
Yeah. No rituals. No rituals.
Yeah.
Now, Dee, do you have a vocal coach, or have you ever had a vocal coach before? And what do you like to drink to help your vocals?
Water. I drink water a lot. I drink beer a lot too, but yeah, I mean tea. Just like resting your voice and not talking a lot before a show, which is really hard because you're always talking to promote it, or I've never had a vocal coach. I've kind of just taught. I'm self-taught, but I've worked with like Jim House. He used to be the manager of Close to Death. We worked a lot on training my voice to be able to hit the notes, and actually started teaching a girl how to sing. And so teaching someone actually helps you learn better. Doing it with them actually helps you learn and do it yourself, which is kind of the same thing with him being a guitar instructor, because he goes and teaches people all day after school. He goes, he works at school and then he goes to tutor people. He drives to their houses separately and doesn't get home till 9:30, but he's teaching them songs, and then sometimes while he's teaching them, he's like, oh, hold on a second, I got this ripped, and he records it, and here's a new song for us. Or he's learning different cover songs that he otherwise wouldn't have wanted to learn because the kids are younger than him, and they're from a different generation.
I mean, teaching makes a lot of teachers will say teaching makes you a better guitar player, whatever you're teaching, but it certainly helped me for my own style. Just learning so many different songs from different people had a huge impact on how I play and the chords, how I make my own chords, and how I just create. Without teaching, I don't know if I would be the artist I am.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm going to put you on the spot here. As a guitar player, in your career as a guitar player, what has been the most difficult song to perform on a guitar so far?
Oh, I don't know. Probably ones I couldn't perform.
He was Sweet Child of Mine pretty good that one show. Saw you.
Yeah, that was okay. But the thing is, here's the thing. I've never, as far as on stage, I've never really done covers. My whole life has been doing original songs. I'm going to be able to play my own original songs because I wrote them. The hard thing is when you have to teach people something that you're not really the best at, right? So there's like, I wouldn't be able to give you one example because there's probably hundreds of songs. But I've been able to teach the songs. You just can't play them. So I can like sit there on whether it be YouTube or in the old days cassette play tapes, and they could hit start and stop and start and stop, and get the certain notes I need, write the notes down. Okay, let's go to the next bunch of notes, and I would have the whole solo down. Let's say we're working on solo, note for note. Cannot play it, but I was able to teach it. Now the player, the student, they're going to be in the same situation, but a lot of times they will end up being better than me for my teaching.
Wow.
And that's,
how satisfying is it? How satisfying is it?
Sometimes it pisses me off, but sometimes,
Yeah.
but other times you know like you've done something,
I hear about that.
good, that you got something to be better than you,
Well, that's rewarding.
Yeah, I like
In and
three
of
or four people that have toured the world and been in Broadway play musicals, and
music really is therapy, and music is truly international nowadays too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like I just watched I watched Taylor Swift's this is on Disney Channel. It's like the End of Eras tour, and I was fascinated by like her because I never really was like a big fan, but watching her, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm obsessed with this girl now. And then there's this other thing called Camden on the Disney Channel, and Dua Lipa was on it, and like all these like the Roots were on it from is it Jimmy? Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel? I don't know. He's the Roots they went to Camden. Apparently, it's this place in the UK that just basically has given birth to like some of the biggest rock stars on the planet that you would have never even known about. It's like a city that reminds you of the Lower East Side of New York City. You should check it out. It's a good show.
One thing I've learned was speaking to a musician in the UK, how country music has exploded over in the UK as well.
I love country music too. I'm from Texas, so yeah.
Who are some of your favorite country music artists? And have you thought about getting into country music at some point?
I'd love to do some Southern rock stuff. I mean, I like Stevie Ray Vaughan, obviously. I don't know. Carrie Underwood is a good artist. Faith Hill. There's a lot of them. Too many.
Favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan song?
Texas Flood.
Why that?
I don't know. I like the rhythm. I like the lyrics. Like he always kicks ass in anything that he does. And it's just kind of a personal thing because I lived there and I've been through it. Just relate to it.
Are you guys still good for a few more questions in a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted to play your recent single. I believe it came out in 2025 called Blindfold, and it's courtesy of your YouTube channel. How can our audience find you on social media, your website, and how they can subscribe to your YouTube channel like I have?
Our website is deladie.com, deladie.com, which needs to be updated. So I'll work on that soon. Our social media is always at Deladie Music. You can go to, we have a link through DistroKid. It's like a hyperlink. And that goes to all of our pages. But you can go to deladie.com and get to most of our social media.
Wanted to ask you before I play the video in a minute, on average, how long is one of your songs? Because I know on radio, they kind of like the songs to be 3 minutes or less. Have you had to kind of cut yours down at some point for radio?
No. We just, but even still, even though I say, we don't care what the song's going to dictate how long it wants to be. The song, has mind of its own.
Yeah, but if it does get too long, we tend to like rework it so that it's not, boring.
And that's when we start fights. It's kind of like, no, it's going to go longer.
Yeah.
But in general, we still end up around the 4 minute mark. So it's pretty, we're in the same.
No, not always. I mean, sometimes it's like 2.5 minutes. Like
yeah, some of the songs, but then we have some longer songs. But it's been in between 3 and 3 and 5. Maybe a song has been close to 6 minutes, but it's been between 3 and 5 minutes. So we're in a safe zone.
By the way, I'm going to play Blindfold right now, courtesy of your YouTube channel. Please, guys, let me know if you can hear the audio. I am the audio guy too, so if it's not very good audio, I'll have to replace the audio guy, which is myself.
Right.
Just 1 second. I try to be funny, but that's why I'm in radio. Just 1 second right here. We're going to play Blindfold right now, and thank you so much, Dee, and thank you so much, Jeff. 1 second.
Thank you.
Taste to pull away, held down for another day. Slowly let myself slip around. Gravity won't let me drown. You fulfill my every long so vividly. Got me pinned tight, so I know that you'll never let me go. Blindfold, blindfold. Cover my eyes, cover my eyes, cover my tight and blindfold, cover my tight and blindfold. Difficult, I can't ignore shadows close. Let me explore, touch your heart. You enter me, lift, embrace my energy. Hold me up, then pull me down, close to you. Once I understand, turn on me, turn on for sure. Never heard so deep before. Blindfold, blindfold, blindfold. Cover my eyes, cover my eyes. Tight on blindfold, tight on blind. Cover my eyes. Roll, hunting feeling out the way I go. Hunting slowly still my mind. Come on, my eyes shine, I'm blind. Never cry. Oh, cover my eyes, cover my eyes. Tight on blindfold, tight on blindfold. Cover my eyes.
Thoughts on this song, Blindfold, and what was your inspiration for it? I personally like it. I think it's very catchy and upbeat, positive song.
Thank you. Yeah. Let me see. Blindfold is actually a song that you would think was it's actually it's about a dark time in my life, and how I'm coming out, how I grew out of it. So it's very personal, and hopefully when we record the music video, that will have the story. You'll be able to interpret the lyrics yourself. But I would love to share the lyrics with everyone and let the audience be able to interpret like the lyrics themselves and how it relates to their own lives. But if you wanted to get into the nitty gritty of what it's about, that probably would be another time.
I wanted to ask you how inspiring was that song, and did it take you a while to write that song, or did it just come to you right away?
Well, I think part of what happened was
Yeah,
right
this is a good story.
right behind us, we have a little kitchen area, and I have my little area where I have my guitars and stuff. So I think I just started playing it, and Dee and I just worked on most of it right there. So
It started out as Eruption, and we worked at it in Staten Island when we first started working together. But it was over some other like backing electronic music, and then we went back to the lyrics. And when he was sitting here, and like I was sitting in the kitchen, and he always sits in the formal dining room, and there's space, so I stand and sing, and he sits and he plays with all his amps and guitars, which are like right here where we're looking at. But yeah, and then we write it together and break up a song, and then we just kind of like, he coaches me a lot, and then I tell him no, and
So basically, I was writing whatever I was writing, and she brought this song, the lyrics from the song she had before, and we just made it work together. But we did a couple of parts here, but then we tried it out with the guys at the studio, and other parts come up because when you're playing with the band, there's different energy to it. All of a sudden, you start playing it differently. And like I start hearing things. I'm good. Not that I'm good. Like when somebody's talking, my brain is making music. It just, a lot of my stuff comes from like that she mentioned before. I'll be at my students' houses. I'll just hear something inside of my head. I'm like, all right, hold on a second, let me record this. So when we get into the studio, somebody will play something a little bit different than I expect them to, and another part comes out of nowhere. So I would say 60% of the song was written here, where we live, and then the 40% was written in the studio.
Yeah, as soon as like the rhythm section comes in, everything changes, and not for the better, because like you would have heard Blindfold. Like there's a recording of it on our Instagram, and when we were writing it, and it was just me and him, so it's very subtle and soft and like pretty. And then when you take it into the studio and you play it with the bass and drums, it turns into a whole different entire song, and it becomes more powerful and more energetic and more emotional. It's
Overall, how's the response been to this song?
Really great. Really great. Now, people can't believe it's us, and we're excited about it. Yeah, I wish we had more marketing on it. Like we still need to record a music video and stuff like that. We've got a lot of stuff to do. We've got the music recorded. Now we need to go to the next sector of how to put it out there so that people actually hear it and are interested in it. And that's work in and of itself. So
what I'll do tonight when our show's finished, I'll edit the video and I will edit some of the song and I will put it on TikTok for you, Instagram and Facebook, and in my YouTube shorts, and hopefully some people will be exposed to the music as well.
That's so amazing. Thank you so much, Chris.
You're very welcome. How would you describe your music style? What's 3 words? I'm going to reword this question. What's 3 words to describe your music style and your band?
Both of us.
No, I'm not good with words. I can give you influences. But.
Like, I don't know. Like, definitely dark and deep, like poetic.
It's very compositional. That's a lot of people, commercial music follow a certain formula, and the songs basically sound. If you listen to background music of pop songs, it's all the same. Mm-hmm. So I try to, intentionally avoid that.
That's what he's so good at too. Like he invents chords that no one's ever played before, and I'm like, his fingers do all this weird stuff. Like, look at his hands; they're so long. He can like make chords to sound a particular way, and he's got a talent for that. And I don't know. It's just an eclectic way that we reach our emotion.
But writing-wise, my influences are like, I always say, Black Sabbath, Blondie, and Radiohead, and then that's what you got.
Were you a fan of the Eagles? The band The Eagles?
To a degree. I mean, the Hotel California is probably it's one of my favorite solos to teach, and it's a great solo. But I did have one Eagles album. What was that? It had the word "long" in it. You remember what I'm talking about? I had one
I-
of those. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, for me,
Me, No Doubt, and Christina Aguilera. I like Dua Lipa. I like female-fronted bands. You know, obviously because I'm a girl, but I like rock musicians. I like Pat Benatar, who lives in Long Island, or who used to. She's
really?
from, yeah.
Wow.
And she probably doesn't
Love
live here anymore, but she's from Lindenhurst or something like that.
Yeah, when I think of Pat Benatar, I think of "Love Is a Battlefield" from 1983, and "Hit Me with Your Best Shot." And music is so powerful. You guys know this. Music's so powerful. Being 53, when I hear a certain song from the 80s or 70s, it takes me back to my childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I was born in like in the 70s too, so we're not that far apart. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on vinyl records coming back, being back, retro's back? What do you guys think of vinyl records?
Yeah, they've been coming back. They've been back for a while. Though.
Wow.
I mean, they came back and they went away. Now they're coming back again, and it's strange.
Do you guys have any plans for an album in the future?
We're about to release our first album together as a full entire band.
Yeah.
we released singles and stuff, but this is our first record that we're releasing as a full body work with just the four of us. Zach, Joff, Taco, and I. Like,
congratulations.
we have enough songs to write another record too already, but we just need the money and the time.
Have you guys got a title picked out for this album yet, or are you still in the process of that?
Well, we were gonna go with Delabolic, and then I was thinking maybe that sounds diabolical, so maybe we shouldn't do that because that's not like kind of our style. I don't know. I guess we're still working on it. And I thought Delangelic, and I was like, no, that's cheesy. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to like put the songs together and come up with something that is appropriate.
What's the process like in trying to select the songs for an album from a music perspective?
One thing is
all four of us have to like it,
and how much we can afford. Because we wanted to go in and do like 7 songs and like pushing the band. Like I don't know if it was feasible to do that all.
It gets expensive, especially if you work with good producers.
But it's also the process because day one is recording the drums. So your drummer has to be able to have the energy to do whatever they can do in that particular day. And some drummers can do one song, some drummers can do more.
Yeah.
So it's all about that. So we have to plan ahead as to how many songs we're going to do, drums wise, and that ends up being the amount of songs that are going to be in that session, in that project. So the first time we did it together, it was 3 songs. One of them was Blindfold.
What was it like? Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't remember because we had at the time we had a bunch of songs. I don't remember why we chose Blindfold, and we had another song called 7DS and Starlight. But I guess it just every kind of agreed on. It wasn't really much of a discussion.
Yeah, but then we went into the studio with Frankie. We did Salacious, Wild 9, and Peyote.
Yeah, that was there. But there was never really like certain people favored certain songs. But if we kind of put it all together, and there was no like voting per se. We just kind of did whatever felt right.
The strongest ones were, I think,
What do you guys think of the CD market? Do you guys still believe there's a CD market out there?
I don't know anybody with CDs.
I have tons of CDs, but I don't have a CD player anymore. I just have all the CDs that used to play in my old stereo. I mean, nowadays you can just put it on live streaming, but I do find validity in still having the artwork and having something in your hands, to just keep and hold and look back on, because that happens back in time, and you can relate to it when it's physical, like in your hand. Like when you listen to it on a streaming app, it just it's just digital, and there's a difference for some reason to me personally.
I think it'll come back.
People had a big problem when vinyl went to CD because vinyls were really like bigger. You could read, and there was much more there. But people liked the CDs for different purposes, and a lot of guys were against CDs. But then CDs were there, and now people miss the CDs because the lifestyle of this stuff is streaming. There's nothing now, But the fact that vinyl's come back is a good thing, because I like having that big thing in my hand and
I
opening
mean,
up.
and if you do have CDs at your show, people will buy it. Even, we also have like a little bit of an older demographic listening to our music. I noticed, like, and we're trying to reach out to the younger crowd too, and it's starting to develop more. But like our main listeners target between the ages of like 30 and 60. The younger generation is a little bit less, but we could probably know why. Probably because we're more rock and roll. I'm not sure.
What was it like placing second in the quarterfinals for America's Next Top 10 Hitmaker in 2024 competition, as well as being selected as a finalist for the October Breaking Artist Showcase? What was that like?
That was an accomplishment. Like we almost made it into the semifinals in 2024. We got beat out by this girl in the last second, so we were like, ah. So we went back in 2025 and made it into the semifinals, and we came in fourth in the semifinals. And the competition's getting bigger, and it's offering more money. You get to be in Rolling Stone magazine. You get a billboard in Times Square. You win $50,000. You get a lot of different opportunities. It's a cutthroat competition, so we'll see. I mean, eventually one of these days we'll get our breaks, but I just want to go on tour at least once. That's on my bucket list, the four of us.
Yeah.
What makes your band stand out from the other bands?
Well, you gotta look. I guess you look at it this way. I mean, Dee and I, we're family because we're engaged. And like my son is in the band. That's family, and Taco is my best friends. My oldest and longest, best friends, and that comes through. Like we played in the city one time, and the sound guy says, he said it to me. He's like, you have to be family to sound that good.
He's like, you have to be in a family to sound that good. And like we did harmonies. I think I sent you a clip of it where we were singing Tantalize, and like our harmonies, they're like here's a Partridge Family, Partridge Family of rock, because like most of the time I guess harmonies aren't that great, but because we are kind of like a family. I guess the family aspect of our music, and like we're not just someone's not going to get pissed off and leave,
Right?
Like we're here no matter what. Like we're stuck with each other, and that's it. I mean, you can go have your other project or whatever. That's fine, but I mean, we would never do that. But Zach's young, so he can go have his other project, which he does tonight. His band Tessina's performing, so we're gonna go there next.
He's got a medal.
Okay.
That's actually a medal.
What time is it at? I don't want to keep you guys. Are we okay?
He's like 10 minutes away, and it's like we got a half hour to leave.
Yeah.
How important is it only being 10 minutes away in New York City? Because I've been there, and it's crazy.
Well, we're in Long Island. So more
Long Island? Okay.
I mean, it's still busy, but it's not Manhattan busy. You can actually find parking. Yes, he's on like 10 to 15 minutes away, and his other band is kids more his age.
Yeah.
And they're doing metal. They're doing half covers and half original. So, but Zach is an enigma. He finds, like when we go to the studio every Saturday, we'll hand him. He's the DJ. He's got his phone. He's hooked into my car, and he'll find stuff that we've never heard.
He's an old soul.
But then he'll play stuff from the 90s and the 80s. And like, how do you know this, Zach?
Yeah.
Wow.
You were born in 2006. Why are you listening to this?
And the amount of time that he blossomed from being a 15-year-old kid just learning to play bass to what he is now, it's just like insane. It's incredible. He's an amazing talent.
And he's different from me because I was more about theory and learning it. I'm like a mathematical person. I teach math, but I have to know what I'm playing and why it's working. He doesn't. He doesn't care. Like if I tell him what note to play, he doesn't know what are you talking about. I'm like, there, hit that note right there. Okay.
He knows every single chord and like note, and like Zach's like what. But then Zach is good at like getting him to try new things, and he's influenced our sound a lot actually, because we probably would have went off on like a softer type tangent with our music, and he was like, no, he was like, what, that's not heavy enough, and I'm like, yeah. So he's definitely helped us keep the heavy side of our our sound.
Zach doesn't talk much. When he talks, you listen. Whatever he says, like he's the true boss of the band. You know.
I'm the true one.
He never says anything. When he does say, "All right, exactly, we're doing this. We're doing it this way."
We're all the boss. Like we take turns.
Yeah.
What is next on your bucket list? And do you guys have any plans to travel and perform internationally at some point?
Absolutely.
We'd love to do that. We just have to. It's all about how do we make that plan. You know, that's the biggest question. But we will at some point.
I'd like to get into some festivals. I think that would help our exposure. Record some music videos. You know, just get a good marketing machine. Maybe get like in a movie or something, or song in a movie or something like that. Just anything that would help us.
Performance-wise, I think, you know, the important things that I'd like to get. I think you mentioned too. Like I love to go to Canada. I love to go to Europe and play because I think that it's people want to come out to, like, people in New York don't want to go out to see music. They just it's been like this for 20 years. Nobody wants to go out to show. They want to go out to eat, but they don't want to go see bands. If they do want to see bands, they want to see cover bands of songs they already know. Whereas you go to Europe
or to a concert, there's someone who's already blown up. Yeah. Like it's not like the dive scene kind of thing that it used to be. I mean, I don't know about 20 years,
but I know in Europe, like, you know, bands go there and people, like one of my students' band was playing in a festival in Japan, and it was an all-day festival starting like 10 in the morning. Now, if you have those festivals here, there's no audience until like 6, 7 o'clock. There, and they were hoping, and the headlining band was Judas Priest. And my friend's band was, my student's band was playing at 10, and the place was packed at 10 o'clock a.m. You know, so that's why it seems like in the rest of the planet, people appreciate live music a lot more, original live music a lot more.
So how do you change that?
I don't know how we can change that, but I'd rather go into places already.
Well, you have to do something to get your music out. You need a street team. You need a following. You need to do something. I don't know. I guess, you know. Can you help us? I have no idea.
Social media, TikTok, social media. The more
managers out there that want to give us a hand and help us out, like hit us up.
So social media, which I do myself, is a full-time job itself.
It is. It's so time consuming. I used to be pretty good at it, but lately I've just fell off, and I would really like to have some help with that.
As we wrap up this show, what's a fun fact about yourself?
I'm from Texas. My dad played in the NFL. He was a quarterback.
NFL?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Ben G. Dial. He went by Ben G. Dial back in D. And he's passed away now, but he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm an Eagles fan, by the way.
Redskins between years 67 and 72. He also played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Canada.
The CFL. I know them very well because I do media coverage of the Canadian Football League. So small world.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Yes, please. Because I follow the NFL, but I also follow the CFL as well, and that's just amazing too. By the way.
Yeah, he's pretty famous. You know, I didn't know that he was like that big of a deal until he passed away, and there were like thousands of people at his funeral, and I was like, whoa. I was like, okay.
I am sorry for your loss. I know how hard it is to lose a parent. I lost a parent when I was a teenager, 2 days before Christmas. So I had to grow up earlier than most teenage kids.
Yes, it's hard. It is very hard. But thank you.
And the one thing with technology is you can still watch his footage on YouTube and all these social media sites now too. With YouTube especially, you can watch games going back to the 70s now.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Absolutely. What number did he wear when he played quarterback?
Well, when he played for Philadelphia Eagles, he had number 4. I think he had number 13 once. Like, I had to look that up on Wikipedia. I have pictures. Oh, here's Gibby, say hi. I have pictures from my mom's house. She lives in McKinney, Texas.
Dallas Cowboy fan growing up.
Yes, absolutely. Say hi, Gibby.
Oh, he's a spoiled little boy.
I know he's big.
Latte's a Siamese cat, and she scans me for food and treats all the time. And then it's like, piss off, get away from me.
Yeah.
Cats are smarter than people give them
They're really
credit for.
Yeah, cats are smarter than people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about him though.
You're smart.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this show, guys, this is a new segment I do on my show for my guests as we wrap up. It's called Ask the Host CDP a Question. CDP, by the way, are my initials, by the way. So do you guys have a question to put me on the hot seat as we wrap this up?
Are you married with children?
No, I'm currently married to my media career. But I
Okay.
am an uncle. But my two nieces and nephew are all growing up now, and my one niece wants to be a firefighter. The other one wants to be an airline pilot, and my nephew wants to be one of those guys that, those electrician guys that work on the hydro poles high up in the sky. He wants to do that. Kids grow up quick, by the way.
That's so cute.
I know that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
on your career. You're doing an excellent job. We're so excited and happy and grateful that you reached out to us and gave us this time to share some of our stories with you. And we'd like to be on it again in the future if you'd like to.
It's the guests that make a great show. I'm very lucky. And by the way, I did go to school for law and security, and I was in security for 2 decades. But I've transitioned and self-taught me into a new career. And with this technology, and you're willing to work hard, learn, work smarter, and have a passion. You know what? Whatever you do, if you don't have a passion for that career, then it's probably time to move on.
Yeah. Yes. Work smarter, not harder.
And then what I love about this show, it's not just the storytelling aspect, connecting, networking with people, but I learn something from every guest that comes on here as well.
That's good to you.
That's good. Yeah.
And finally, can you just tell us about some of your upcoming shows in New York City? Any of your next performances and when people could see them?
Get the CD wrapped up, and the next show will probably sometime in the spring, maybe 2-3 months, and it'll be. I'm sure it'll be Amityville Music Hall again. That's our home place.
So we're trying to get into the Manhattan too, and maybe in the Hamptons. We have some stuff on our list that we have to get in, but we don't have any dates just right now. But we're going to get some up there for the rest of the year soon.
Well, when I can get a chance to get back to New York City, I will let you guys know, because I would like to kind of meet you guys in person one day and hear live music play too.
That would be amazing. We'd love to meet you too.
And finally, where can our audience follow you again on social media, website, and purchasing your music? And do you guys happen to have any merchandise out yet too on your website?
No, we need to get merchandise going though, because I have some great ideas. I've worked on designs and stuff. It's just going and putting it into motion. Deladie.com. You can find all of our social media, and pretty soon you'll be able to purchase. You can actually purchase our music on the website right now. The music that's up there, but you can stream us on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the major streaming apps, and YouTube. I gotta work on our YouTube page.
That's a lot of work, by the way. I have been on YouTube.
You have like a college degree to get your YouTube page up and running these days.
I've been on YouTube for 15 years, and I've got over 4,100 videos there. It's hard, but that's something you need to build your brand with, is the YouTube channel and TikTok especially too.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, hey, like I said, I want to say thank you so much for coming on my 676th show tonight and giving us 90 minutes of your time. And I want to wish you both continued success in the music career, in the industry. And hopefully one day I will be able to get back to New York and see you guys perform live and have a nice drink with listening to your music.
Thanks, Chris. We had such a great time talking to you.
Thank you so much. Give me a little bit of time tonight, because I got to go for a 20-minute walk to move my legs, because I'm an old guy. And plus I'm trying to lose weight. But I will get you guys the full video of the show, the audio, and I will edit video clips and all that too as well. So I just want to say thank you so much and continue success.
Back at you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care, Chris. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You
Bye.
too. All right, everyone. That wraps up season 13, episode 17, overall 677 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com. I have another special announcement. The next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by barrycullen.com, is going to be on Tuesday, March 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern with special guest Chris Spinelli, a friend of mine. He is an actor, producer, and stand-up comedian out of Los Angeles. Chris is going to tell us about some of his latest acting roles in projects and also about his stand-up comedy as well. He does a show every Wednesday with Jay Hewitt called Comedians at Denny's as well. So Chris Spinelli will be on, and we'll talk a little sports with Chris. Chris is originally from Colorado. He is a sports fan as well. So I'm looking forward to having Chris Spinelli on, and he's been on my show, I think, 3 other times as well. So check out Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show Tuesday nights. This Tuesday night, March 17th, at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 on the West Coast with Chris Spinelli. And then on Wednesday, March 18th at 4 o'clock, I have Mike Hogan on, the voice of the CFL's Toronto Argonauts and the manager of communications for the Toronto Argonauts on as well. And I have Thursday, March 19th, 2 p.m., legendary Canadian media and broadcaster, former CTV Sports and TSN guy, Rod Black, on to talk about his latest, his brand new book, Cut to Black, and it's about his 40 years in Canadian media as well. So Rod Black will be on this Thursday, March 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern. And as we wrap up this show, guys, again, I want to say thank you to Jeff and Dee from the musical band, from the dynamic rock band Deladie, for coming on here today. And please make sure you follow them on their social media sites, their website, and they're also on Instagram, and they're also on Facebook. So please check out Deladie, dynamic rock band out of New York City as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, right now at Barry Cullen Chevrolet, the federal EV rebate is back. Get up to $5,000 off the purchase of your new Chevrolet EV. More details are available at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall, or you guys can call them at 519-824-0210, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. And as we wrap up the show, guys, the Cambridge and District Humane Society is having a fundraiser on Saturday, April 11th, 2026, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Cambridge Newfoundland Club, located at 1500 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. They're having a prohibition, that's right, a prohibition speakeasy fundraising event, 1920s theme style. Tickets are $75 per ticket. The funds and the money go back into the programs at the Cambridge District Humane Society. You can purchase your tickets at cambridgehumanesociety.org, or you can go into the Cambridge District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, and you can purchase your tickets from Zach or Kat, or you can call them at 519-623-7722. That's 519-623-7722, extension 0, and you can get your tickets there as well. And also, if you're looking to volunteer, you can fill out a volunteer form on the cambridgehumanesociety.org website. And I am a volunteer dog walker down there twice a week as well. And if you're looking to adopt a pet, remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can adopt it at the Cambridge District Humane Society. All the pets and animals that are up for adoption, their profiles or information are on cambridgehumanesociety.org as well. They do a wonderful job down there. Remember, adopt, don't shop. As we wrap up this show, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And I'm working on getting this show on TikTok Live as well. You can also follow my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Pommet. Speaking of TikTok, I am a full-time content creator on TikTok at Chris Pame. Follow, share, and like. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or live streaming or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars or live streaming, go to StreamYard.com and contact our sales department for pricing as well. And yours truly has been with StreamYard now for 5 years. That's 5 years. And I give them a big thumbs up. And finally, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And please remember to subscribe, like, and share. And I want to say thank you to 80 countries around the world for listening to this show on my audio platforms as well. And you can also reach me, email me at live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpame19@gmail.com. Any comments, suggestions, feedback would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you're looking to advertise your show, I'm going to reword this. If you're looking to advertise your business and company on my platform, I'm on 21 platforms, both video and audio form, and I'm on all social media platforms as well. My prices are competitive and fair, and I can do a lot to advertise your business here on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. So if you're interested in advertising your company and business product here, you can reach out to me at cpame19@gmail.com, or you can DM me on my social media pages as well. And I want to say thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, who is a proud sponsor of the show for the past 3.5 years as well. And I am also on PayPal. If you really like my talk shows, my media content, and what I have on my YouTube channel, you can PayPal me at Chris Pame on PayPal. Or you can book a cameo video from yours truly on CDP. Yes, I am on Cameo. Go to cameo.com, type in Chris Pame, and book your cameo today. I do happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy Hanukkah, congratulations, anything within reason. And I look forward to hearing from you on requests on cameo.com. And finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP19 on Blue Sky Social, everywhere except Snapchat. And also remember to check out my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube channel, type in Chris Pame or Live with CDP Talk Show, hit subscribe, like, and share. And also I have a lot of content on my YouTube shorts as well. So thank you everybody for watching this show and listen to it. And again, you, the audience, thank you so much for watching this show, listening to this show, and supporting this show as well. And again, I want to say thank you to my guests, Dee, Dial, and Jeff Mud. If I didn't butcher his name, and I do apologize. I want to say thank you to Jeff and Dee from the Dal You Die dynamic rock band in New York for coming on here tonight as well. And also thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet as well. I am really looking forward to next week. I have a number of guests and a number of more shows booked as well. And by the way, as we wrap up this show, the Detroit Pistons won again last night, winning at home against Memphis. The Pistons are back in action tomorrow at 3:30 when the Pistons travel to Canada to take on those Toronto Raptors as well. And as for the Red Wings, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And tonight we got hockey, Sabres and Leafs tonight in Buffalo. The Leafs are without Austin Matthews for the rest of the year, knee injury. And the gentleman, Gudis, or I think what is his name? Gudis for the Ducks. He only got a 5-game suspension. Look, I'm not a Maple Leafs fan, but you know what? He took out an elite superstar player. The suspension to me should have been 10 games or more. I don't think 5 games is enough for what he did to Austin Matthews. Matthews is a star player. for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Matthews is now out for the rest of the year, and who knows about next year. He could miss some time too, depending on the severity of the injury, but I think the NHL missed the boat on that suspension as well. And congratulations to the Americans. Yes, they beat Canada again in a championship type game. The U.S. won 5-3 last night. Canada fell short, so the U.S. advances in the World Baseball Classic. Canada's out, but I want to say congratulations to Team Canada and manager Ernie Witt and that coaching staff as well. And the Buffalo Bandits are back. They've won 3 in a row. They've beaten Saskatchewan, Toronto, and now Colorado. So the Bandits are now 7-6. They're in a playoff spot, and they're coming off a 13-10 win last night against Colorado as well. So the Bandits are now on the road this week at San Diego. But the Buffalo Bandits, you can check them out at bandits.com, or check out the National Lacrosse League at NLL.com as well. And I'm trying and working on having another guest that covers the National Lacrosse League on my show very soon as well. And please check out my recent shows with Steve Bermel, the Buffalo Bandits radio and TV analyst, and Brian Shanahan, who's a National Lacrosse League analyst for the NLL Plus and for TSN as well. That is about it. Again, thank you to Dee and Jeff from the Del You Die band in New York City for coming on here. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. And in case I don't talk to some of you on Monday, I want to wish everyone a happy St. Patty's Day or happy St. Patrick's Day as well. And I'm going to have to go to McDonald's tomorrow and get one of those green shamrock shakes as well. Hey, and I want to say thank you to the audience for watching this show tonight again, and to Robbie Schneider as well as Alexis, who is a friend of mine as well. And that is about it, guys. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your week. Enjoy the National Hockey League, Major League Baseball spring training games, the World Classic Baseball, which will be back tomorrow night as well. So that is about it. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Palme, and brought to you by the fine folks at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple days for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show.